Bonsoir. Desko ou renkontre ave nou nan lot emisyon Law, Politics and Society. Nou bien kontan desko ba nou opotunite sa pou nou rentre la ka ou, pou nou pote informasyon ba ou, fami ou, zami ou, avek tout kominote ou. Ankor, nou gen bon zami nou, ma co-host, Max Osidal ki pala ave nou aswe ala, de gen pou retene tre bientou. But we have a very exciting show for you this evening. We have a candidate who's running, who's on the ballot, who are you going out there to help get elected. A very good friend of the community, has been a lawyer for a number of years. And I would like to introduce to you our guest for this evening, Attorney Joe Perkins. Mr. Perkins, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay. You know, usually I take a lot of time to do the introduction, but I want you to jump right into it because you have a great story. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I grew up in the Philadelphia area. When I was 18 years old, I remember standing on a street corner in Kensington with no money in my pockets and no plans for the future. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that I'm not on that corner today is because I had a glimmer of hope. Mm-hmm. Hope that with effort and focus and dedication, perhaps that I too could share my small part of the American dream. Mm-hmm. I put my head down, got to work. A year later, met my now wife, 15 years, who was an immigrant at that time. Got really involved in immigration causes while studying hard, trying to pull myself out of poverty.
Right.
Graduated very early from college, Drexel University. I had my bachelor's degree at 20 years old. Mm-hmm. Got my law degree from Boston University at 23 years old. And every single year I've had the blessing of just continuing and pushing forward. And now is my time to give back to the community that has given me so much opportunity, because I want to make sure that whoever you are, however you look, however you speak, whether you have an accent, whether you speak English or not, you know that you too have a fair shot.
You have a background that we have not seen in many candidates. You have lived the immigration history because your wife is an immigrant herself.
Yes.
You married her very early on.
Yes.
Tell us about that story. I mean, was that, especially in Pennsylvania and those places where immigration is not a big thing, you know, like we are in Miami?
Yeah. I think marrying my wife and seeing her struggle, which became our struggle, gave me an empathy to what it takes and what the American spirit is.
Right.
To get to where one needs to be and to continuously climb that ladder. And my wife, Maria Fernanda, has taught me what the American spirit is.
Right.
And has inspired me to never take for granted the opportunities that we have.
That's been given to you.
Yes. That I've had. Had the good fortune and the blessing to have been born in this country and not have to personally go through the struggle, the immigration struggle. But I have a special empathy, I believe, for immigrants. Obviously, when I'm on the bench, my job will be to apply the law, whether or not I like the law or not. But I think it's very, very important for judges to be able to feel what is going on in the communities that they serve. And so I'm very, very grateful for that experience.
And you also have a little one?
Yes. We're blessed to welcome into this world Graham around 9 months ago. Being a dad is the most fun thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I can't believe I waited so long. We waited so long. We did so for good reason, and we improved in our careers. But to give you an example, I used to have so many hobbies. The only thing I want to do with the little spare time I have now is to play with Graham.
Graham, okay. And you've been a lawyer for over 10 years.
Yes.
Tell us about what have you done in this community in terms of serving and loving this community.
Sure. Well, as a lawyer, I've worked in the private sector. My practice has evolved now primarily to federal bank fraud litigation. So I litigate financial fraud such as Ponzi schemes, check kites, forgeries, altered instruments. I've also worked to build a small international practice, so I'm outside general counsel to the government of Japan and Florida. I do speak Japanese, I speak Spanish.
Wow.
I enjoy learning languages. But on the community side, I've always had a presence in communities, in vulnerable communities. So while I'm not personally an immigrant, I have volunteered to serve our immigrant communities. While I'm not gay, I have volunteered to serve our LGBTQ neighbors. I spent the summer of 2005 canvassing the state of Massachusetts to protect marriage equality. While I'm not African American, I have volunteered with the National Black College Alliance. While I'm not impoverished, I have contributed sweat and manual labor to build a playground in an impoverished community. While I'm not an inmate or a prisoner, I routinely collect toys for the children of inmates. And we've hosted an event in our home to collect those toys. And I really think it's important for judges, even for judicial candidates, to have a presence in the communities they serve, because the judiciary only exists to the extent that the public, our neighbors, give it legitimacy and have trust in the wisdom of judicial decisions and accept those decisions. And I believe that having a presence throughout our community gives that institution the legitimacy it needs.
How's your Creole thus far?
So I hashtag every post with Perkins Pojij. I've really tried. It's such a nuanced language to hear. It's very, very difficult. But after I'm no longer a candidate, I'll practice on Saturdays and try to pick some up for the next time.
Okay, when you become a judge, you know, you're gonna have to, you never know, you may be sitting in North Dade. Well, usually they don't have circuit judges in North Dade, but if you're downtown, you're gonna have Haitian that are coming before you, and it's good, you know, for them to hear that you have to tell them, bonsoir, you know, welcome to my courtroom, you know, that kind of stuff. So, but, you know, running and becoming a judge has to be a calling because, you know, one, there's no money in it, you make a fortune in what you're doing, being in private practice. So I want to segue into why did you and your family make that decision to sacrifice to become a judge? So before we do so, we're going to take a break. We be right back with our special guest, Joe Perkins, qui là avec nous, qui est candidat pour Miami-Dade Circuit Court, cap courir pour élection, l'a demandé pour nous supporter. So, on a retourné tout à l'heure après un petit break ça.
Sinal Consulting Group, c'est un consultant business center pour business plan, incorporation, 501c3 for non-profit, income tax préparation. Sinal Consulting Group, c'est la référence. 305 308 82 29. Office là offre tout, life insurance, money management et investment. Relais jodi pour une consultation gratuite 305 308 82 29.
Bonsoir encore, nous vous remercions d'être été avec nous, avec guest spécial nous, avocat Joe Perkins, qui est un candidat pour Miami-Dade Circuit Court. Nous sommes bien contents d'être nous opportunité ça pour nous entrer la caillou avec une autre émission, porter information pour vous, famille, communauté, avec tous les amis. Right before the break, basically the question is why? Why did you make that decision, and why are you sacrificing a lot to become a circuit court judge?
I feel very grateful for what our community has allowed me to become, and I see serving our community through our circuit court as a way that I can give back. Our circuit court, our state system is overloaded. The average circuit court judge in the civil division, for example, has a caseload of 4,000 cases. 4,000. Wow. Compare that to a federal judge in South Florida who generally has fewer than 300 cases. And I believe that, with such high caseloads, intelligence is not enough. Sincerity is not enough. We need worker bees. We need a judge who is going to be present, thoughtful, and ready to roll up his or her sleeves and get to work. And I have that work ethic, and I have a family that supports my desire to serve our community. And I'm excited to get to work.
Okay. What about temperament of a judge? How would you describe that?
Sure. I'll talk about temperament in general and then my temperament.
Okay.
Temperament is very important. And the reason is that whoever is before a court, regardless of circumstance, every single participant needs to know that he or she is going to get a fair shot. And if a judge does not have the temperament necessary to provide that confidence, then the institution will lose legitimacy. It's very important for judges to remain humble, to understand that they do not know all the answers, that they're there to learn and to serve, and to have a spirit inside of them to continue to grow jurisprudentially, with respect to legal knowledge, to grow as a person, and to better understand the facts before them and the law before them. My temperament, I remember as a very young attorney, it was the only time it's ever happened in my career, I got into a shouting match on the phone with an opposing attorney. And we hung up the phone and I left the office early that day, and I was thinking about it the entire ride home, and I parked in my garage and my car was still idling, and I thought to myself, I can never allow my emotion to get to this point again. I'll have a heart attack. And from that day forward, especially when litigation gets heated, I lower my voice. And I believe that it's an effective way to be an advocate. It's the effective way to be a professional. And how I live my life.
Right. Being a judge, not only you're going to hear a lot of pre-trial motions, but a trial is very important.
Yes.
Have you gone through and had a lot of trials, both in the state and the federal system?
Sure. So my trial experience is primarily federal. My disputes generally involve cases involving 7 or 8 figures.
Right.
I just had a major federal trial about 3 weeks ago. So I do have substantial federal experience, trial experience, and I also have substantial experience before many judges. So I've had the good fortune to have had so many cases throughout the years that I've had the ability to see how different judges manage their dockets, to observe different temperaments in our judges, and really absorb for myself those factors and qualities and behaviors that are effective and those that are not.
Okay. We're going to talk about the campaign.
Sure.
What have you done thus far? I don't know, how do you get time to be trying cases while you running a campaign?
I don't know either.
Usually those two don't mix together. I could give you an example. When I was, running a campaign and I was trying a case and I was late to the judges, doing a trial. The judge was already there, the defendant was there, everybody was waiting for me. I was like 15 minutes late. And it was a federal trial. And the judge said, why am I late to his courtroom? I said, Judge, I'm up for re-election. I'm the mayor for the city of North Miami. And I kept going on and on. He was like, you know what? Save your excuse. Here's what I'm going to do for you. next time you show up late to my courtroom, I'm locking you up so you could be on time for the next day. So I don't know if that's happening to you, but
Well, not to that extreme,
Uh-huh.
but when a federal judge tells you that you're going to trial, regardless of whether or not you're in a campaign, you're going to trial.
You're going to trial.
And you know, a judicial race in Miami-Dade County, it's a massive county. Our county is the size of the state of Rhode Island. It's massive. But
it's 2.7 million people, right, in this county, and about 2 million registered voters. Is
it's
that
a
what
little
it is?
over 1 million registered voters.
Uh-huh.
And geographically, we're very, very large. There's we have a slight traffic problem. I don't know if you've noticed it.
Slight.
But I found, well, first, I'm not doing this on my own. My wife, Fernanda, is the best teammate, not just in marriage, but in countywide campaigning. She's incredible. My mother-in-law, Judy, my father-in-law, Alberto, my 80-person strong campaign committee. We are doing this collectively as a group because one person cannot run a campaign. And that's why we'll win this campaign, because of our grassroots efforts.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to talk more about the campaign. Probably you have regardé law, politics and society avec guest spécial nous, avocat Joe Perkins, qui est un candidat pour Miami-Dade Circuit Court. Il est là pour dire exactement qui mon nié, qui ça va faire, l'aile early, le finir en même temps tout, la ba nous qui ça ligue dans ja côté. So, encore, nous vous remercions d'être été connecté avec nous. D'après tourner tout à l'heure, après break ça.
Vous cherchez une télévision de référence? Alors, branchez à Line TV.
Si vous avez besoin d'un avocat pour immigration, cas criminel, l'État et fédéral, relais avocat dans le bureau André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Pour accident machine, dérangement dans le travail, glisser et tomber, relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Ou ka gen droit jusqu'à $10,000 dans bénéfice. C'est seul un avocat qui a fait rejoindre l'argent. Nous ici là pour servir. Si vous pas touché, nous pas touché. Ou pas pral doué frais avocat avec dépenses. Relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46 ou soit aller dans 550 Northeast 124e rue dans North Miami.
Encore, nous vous remercions d'être été branché avec nous à regarder Law, Politics and Society avec guest spécial nous, avocat Joe Perkins. Right before the break, we were talking about the campaign itself. You said you have an ALE member team committee that are supporting you. I know you have gotten some endorsement and some big, I guess, time folks that are supporting you, and including me. I endorse the campaign
It's an honor.
and
Thank you so
support
much.
the campaign. So how are you doing with endorsements?
Sure. Well, endorsements have been great in the Haitian community. For example, the past president of the Haitian Lawyers Association, Patricia Elise, is on my committee.
Right.
Rodney and Evros Noel are also supporting me. I generally don't accept endorsements. When people want to support, I say join the committee.
Yeah.
Help me get votes.
Right.
So former Senator Dwight Bullard
He's on board?
He's on board. He's part of my committee. County Commissioner Xavier Suarez, former Pinecrest Mayor Cindy Lerner, the Mayor of Sweetwater, Mayor Orlando Lopez. But we have an incredible, energetic, active campaign committee that joins in my message, because the way I see it, there are many members of our bar and practitioners of different disciplines within the legal community, but we can all unite behind common ideals, and that is that focus and thoughtfulness and effort and impartiality and intellectual honesty. These are qualities that will benefit our legal community, that will benefit our non-legal community, regardless of who you are, what you believe, how you worship. So I also see this campaign as a wonderful opportunity to help unite us at a time when it feels like our community is hopelessly divided.
If people in the community wants to volunteer for the campaign, how do they go about doing that?
So there are a few ways. First, you can go to my website, vote-joe.com, and there's a sign-up link where you can express your interest. You can also go to my campaign Facebook page, and that's Perkins, or facebook.com/Perkins for Judge, and observe our campaign activities. We're all about transparency, and that's why we think it's very important to publish most of our campaign activities and let the community know that we are present everywhere.
Right.
And you can also give me a call. I'll give you my direct number, 305-536-8872.
Good. Now, when is the election?
August 28th. It's the same day as the partisan primary election. All of Miami-Dade County can vote. Although we have over 1 million registered voters in Miami-Dade County, historically, only around 200,000 of those registered voters vote on August 28th. So you have the ability to decide this election. There was a judicial race in 2016 that was decided by 68 votes. I know that each one of your viewers knows more than 68 people.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
So one person spreading the word on Facebook, telephonically, by text message, to your family, to your neighbors, one person could decide this race.
All right. We know usually in the Haitian community they call August 28th the big day, Jour Gras. Okay?
Jour
Gras, the big day.
Jour Gras.
All right. So now we know there's early voting.
Yes.
There's about 2 weeks of early voting.
Yes.
Okay. When does that start, and can they vote anywhere, or do they have to go to their own precinct to vote?
Yeah. So there is a link on my website, vote-joe.com, for voter resources, so you can type in your address and obtain all the details of voter precincts. Early voting starts on August 14th.
Right.
So for that 2-week period, it starts on a Saturday, ends on a Sunday, there's a day off on a Monday, and then election day is on Jour Gras.
August 28th.
August 28th. There will be around 15 or so precincts and you can vote at any one of those precincts. There's also vote by mail, and that will start, I don't know the date. It hasn't been announced
absentee
yet.
ballots?
Absentee ballots, usually at the end of July, early August, but that'll be a third way to vote.
All right. And you would encourage people to, if they can vote by absentee ballots, to do it as quickly as possible. If you can vote by early voting, don't wait till August 28th.
Absolutely.
Because a lot can happen August
happens.
28th. Life happens, okay?
Happens, yes.
Emergencies and rain.
Yes.
Yes. So all these things can be a problem. And when you vote, they respect your community, right? When you vote, okay? When they, a lot of people that do this for a living, they look at different communities and they find out, where are the people and who are actually going out there and vote. And when you vote, they spend resources in your community, and they, a lot of times you'll come and talk to your community, and gather and try to figure out, how to gain their support in that vote. So,
sure. Well, that's absolutely the case with political races. I can promise to every single voter that whether you vote or not, and please vote, and please vote for me, whether you get involved with my campaign or you're the loudest opposition to my campaign, when you're before me, I will be fair to you.
That's right.
And I will be right, because that's the job of a judge. So, but voting is a way to ratify your membership in this community. And it reaffirms that this is our community. It's not my community, it's not your community, it's not her community, it's our community, and we're all neighbors.
Yeah, and I think, there's another thing you haven't said, but I know you stand for it. most people would not get a chance to say hello to their president, their governor, would never be able to see their governor, sometimes even their state representative. But you know, you will happen to go to a courtroom one day.
Let's hope you're never before me, because if at that level of court, something stressful is going on in your life. But yes, our judiciary is the primary interface of our branches of government with the people.
Right. So it's very important that you
Extremely.
actually vote in those judicial races. Anything else you would like to add about the campaign, about you, that we have not really discussed?
I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to be here today and to talk with you. Your invitation was very, very touching, and your support for my campaign.
Right.
And I look forward to serving you.
Thank you, Joe. We'll see you on August 28th when you win. We'll invite you to come back here and say hello to the community for going out there and support you. So,
It'll be my honor.
encore, nous disons merci d'être que vous êtes chita avec nous là. Nous passons de bon petit temps à parler des campagnes pour nous élire avocat Joe Perkins pour Miami-Dade Circuit Court. Nous disons merci en pile et à bientôt pour l'autre émission, Law, Politics and Society.